Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna. So happy to see all of you, and thank you very much for joining. We are discussing important shlokas of Bhagavad Gita, and we are on third chapter. Last week we started discussion on third chapter, and we will continue today the discussion on the important shlokas of third chapter. And I suppose we all know we started with chapter 1. We did a lot of shlokas from chapter 2, and now we are on chapter 3. I assume that all of you are at least partly remember that what we have been discussing, some important points. I'm not going to ask you all because it's too much to ask. What we discussed last week or week before that, but at least I assume that all of you are remembering it, trying to follow, and these verses of Bhagavad Gita. The entire Bhagavad Gita is very important. But these verses of Bhagavad Gita in particular, if taken seriously, if the teachings of those or the lessons, what we learn from those shlokas are taken seriously and included in our daily lifestyle, then we can get a lot of benefit. Life can change. We can walk on the path of a very, very peaceful, safe, and secured future. So that's why we should take these things very seriously. Now, today we will discuss another important verse, of course, of Bhagavad Gita, which speaks about, I can say, a divine cycle of cooperation. That's what it speaks of. Why is it called divine cycle of cooperation? Of course, once we discuss, we will understand. So let's recite the shloka, and then we will continue discussion on this. This is third chapter, 14th verse of Bhagavad Gita. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyadanna sambhavaha yagyad bhavati parjanya yagyah karma samudbhavaha. I'll just repeat it so that you all can memorize it nicely. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhavaha yagyad bhavati parjanyo yagyah karma samudbhavaha. The translation is, all living bodies subsist on food grains, which are produced from rains. Rains are produced by performance of yagya, and yagya is born of prescribed duties. So Krishna, in this verse particularly, is speaking about, as I said, the divine cycle of cooperation from yagya to prosperity. How we survive, and for us to survive also, there is a necessity for cooperation. So in this chapter particularly, Krishna speaks of karma yoga. Karma yoga means work as a sacred responsibility. Many times people think that karma yoga means do whatever you want and don't worry about the result. The famous verse of Bhagavad Gita, which says, Karmanyavadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana ma karma phale hetur bhurmate sangotsva karmani. So it says, just do your work, don't worry about the result. No. Karma yoga means you should work as a sacred responsibility. Now, when Arjuna was talking about not fighting, and then Krishna guided him, and Krishna says knowledge is superior, then the question came to his mind, if knowledge is superior, why should I act? Why are you asking me to fight? When knowledge is superior, let me take knowledge and be happy. So Krishna says action is unavoidable. How we should act, for whom we should act, that is the question. But whether we should act or we should not, that is not the question. Action is unavoidable. We will have to act, which means we can't run away from our responsibilities. We can't think that, okay, there will be a time when I'll relax and do nothing. In that relaxing and doing nothing, also you'll be doing something. So, so the question is how and for whom we act. And for that, Krishna spoke work done as a yagya liberates otherwise its minds. Yagyarthat karmano nyatra lokoyam karma bandhanaha. So we cannot stop working, but we can stop working selfishly. That is the message. That we don't stop working. How can you stop working? But we stop working selfishly. So that important word, selfishly, you have to stop working selfishly. Bhagavad Gita is teaching us how to do that. So in this particular verse, where Krishna is speaking about Annad Bhavanti Bhutani, means all living beings depend on food. And then he says, Parjanyat Anna Sambhavaha, that food or Anna, it comes from rain. And Yagyat Bhavati Parjanyo, rain comes from Yagya. And Yagya Karma Samudbhavaha, when you do your prescribed duties, then that is called Yagya. So this is the whole cycle he is speaking about. That everywhere cooperation is required. Uh, if you want anna, if you want food, then you for your survival you need food, and for the food you need rain. For the rain you need yagya. For the yagya you need prescribed duty. It's a chain. It's a cycle going on, and if you break it, then obviously there are problems in the world. So, this is what Krishna is very nicely explaining in this verse, that Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. So, let's try to understand this particular verse. Let's break it down in four ways. Annad Bhavanti Bhutani, that means all living beings depends on food. Parjanyad, rain, then Yagya, and then prescribed duties. So, first of all, he's saying, Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. All living beings depend on food. That's the literal meaning. All beings are sustained by food. And we also know, on a physical level, if we see, food is the maintainer of life. Body is made up of earth, water, fire. It is the food that keeps the body together. Without food, you cannot survive. Um, Even a person is very intellectual, emotional, physical energy, full of physical energy, but ultimately depends on food. So that's why that's on the level. Now, if we go in on a little subtle level means uh, not just on the bodily level. Let's go on the level of mind, where the thoughts appear. Let's go on the level of consciousness. Does food affect that? It's a very important thing because we have been thinking, well, it doesn't affect me, right? So the food, why should I bother about, okay, only physical thing I can manage, I can fast, I don't eat, that's okay. But food not only maintains body, food shapes consciousness also. Very important. It is said in the Shastras, Ahara Shuddho Sattva Shuddhi. Purity of food creates purity of consciousness. So, food shapes our consciousness also. Now, let me tell you that food can affect your thoughts, your desires, your inclinations, your spiritual receptivity. How do you receive spiritual knowledge? How do you, what you desire can all be depending on your food. I was reading long back an article by a person who's a very famous Ayurvedic doctor. And he says that food can make you a demon or food can make you a demigod. Hmm? Either Devata or Asur. That means the kind of food you take, that kind of thoughts and desires you develop. See, we don't bother, isn't it? We just want to eat because we think it's okay, it's just for the taste or just for the stomach to get filled. Why bother so much? Eat anything, eat anywhere. It doesn't matter. No, food is very important. It can shape your consciousness. So um, please understand the tongue is the doorway to the mind. Mm. That's why every day when we eat food, before that we chant some prayers where it says Tara Madhe Jiva Ati. Tongue is very, very, I should say, dangerous things. Because if you speak something, then you spoil your relationship. If you eat something wrong, then you spoil your consciousness. So food is very important. I'm just remembering um, in Shri Sampradaya, there is of course, the famous Acharya of Shri Sampradaya is Ramanujacharya, and his guru was Yamunacharya. So, Yamunacharya, there is a story, I'm not going in detail, but one sannyasi was desperately wanting to meet Yamunacharya. At that time, Yamunacharya was not a sannyasi, he was a king, and he was a very powerful king. So then he tried meeting, he could not meet. But then there was definitely necessity because he had a special message for him. But he was not allowed to meet the king. So then what he did? He went to the kitchen of the king and he made friendship with the cook. And then he told, Kisi, I'm very much worried about our king. So I will bring you some vegetable. You make for him and serve him. And the cook was okay, fine. So then he used to bring a particular vegetable. It's uh, in, I don't know, in Tamil it is called Toduvalai or something, or some other name. I'm not very sure, but something like that. It's kind of a shark or a spinach, we have. So that's, it's not spinach, but it's a different kind of shark. So he used to bring for the king every day, started bringing. So one day he was fed, second, third, fourth. For a month, he was bringing every day the same vegetable. And the cook was making, preparing, and giving. And one day he did not go. So obviously, the king got used to eating that vegetable every day for last 1 month. And then he had his plate right in front of him, dinner, lunch, or whatever, said, and he said, hey, where's that vegetable? And he's king. You can't say ki, I couldn't go to the market or the vegetable was not available or I didn't have the money to buy. He's a king, right? You cannot say anything to him. So he said, where's the vegetable? What happened? And the cook said, I'm really sorry. What happened is, then he explained him that this particular vegetable was being brought by a sannyasi, and since he was getting it daily, I didn't bother from where to get. Suddenly now today he didn't come, and I didn't know what to do, so I did not prepare. So the king said, a sannyasi is bringing vegetable, how much does he charge? So he doesn't charge anything, he just gives free of cost. Oh, why is he doing this? He said, I don't know. Okay, tell him to meet tomorrow when he comes. I'll ask him why is he doing that. So then that way he got the opportunity to meet. Now, That's not the story. The story is the vegetable which he was giving was bringing the king in the mode of goodness. That means that 1 month was the preparation by the sannyasi so that when he meets him, he is ready to hear what he wants to say. So just by feeding him that particular vegetable. So, so food definitely affects our consciousness. In fact, we can say that food not just affects or shapes our consciousness. In fact, food can shape the civilizations. The kind of food system you have, that shapes the society. If you are eating very nice food, honest food, you'll have a peaceful society. If you are eating exploitative food, you'll have a violent society. So it can shape civilizations, societies. So that's why don't take that food is something like, okay, we can just go anywhere and, eat. What does it matter? It is said that a society that eats irresponsibly lives irresponsibly. At the same time, food carries reaction, karmic reaction. So be very careful. don't take food very easily. Food is never neutral. It always carries reactions. That's why it is said in the one verse before this, Yagyashistashina Santo Muchante Kar Sarvakil Bishe. So, how does it carry karmic reaction? The food, if it is grown by someone who's a very sinful person, the food will carry the reaction of that sin. If the food is prepared by someone who's very sinful, then the food will carry the reaction of that sin. Of course, if the food is eaten by a sinful person, what will happen? He'll create sins. But if it is eaten by uh, ordinary person or a pious person, then he will develop the desire to commit sin. So that is why it is said, Yagya Shishtashina Santo Muchante Sarva Kilbishe Bhungte Te Twagam Papa. Those who are just eating the food only for the sake of eating, for them, they are creating the sin because the food carries the sin. So, what is the solution of that? Solution is we um, we don't want the karma to be transferred. We don't want the bondage to be created. So we offer it to Krishna. So, what is prasad? You feel prasad is something like, I remember when I was young, for me, prasad was like, getting something small, in quantity. You'll get some halwa or you'll get some sweet, some laddu or some, that was prasad. But rice, dal, chapati, this was not to be called prasad because we thought that's prasad. No, prasad means, of course, the word prasad means mercy. But prasad also means, in general language, sanctified food. Sanctified food means Krishna, when you offer it to Krishna, Krishna glances on it and removes the karmic reaction, makes it ready for you to eat. That is why we offer. Offering of food to Krishna is not just a ritual, it's not just a formality. It is a process to remove karmic reaction, make it sanctified, where the karma is not transferred, the bondage is not created, and we can easily eat it. So if you are not offering it, you're not eating just the food, you're eating reactions. So that's why we should eat prasadam. I many times tell people that we are not supposed to be non-vegetarian, we are not supposed to be vegetarian also. Don't take pride in saying that I'm a vegetarian or I'm a non-vegetarian. Take pride in saying I am prasaditarian. So we offer to Krishna. When food is offered to Krishna, the material food, it becomes prasadam. Eating becomes devotion. Body becomes instrument of service for Krishna. And Krishna says, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yo Me Bhaktya Prayachati. So that's why we should always try to take prasadam. Prasadam is, prasad in Sanskrit means mercy. So you're tasting the mercy of Krishna every day. So my humble request to all of you, कि even if you're not very much interested in philosophy of Bhagavad Gita, you're not very much interested in intricacies of karmic reaction, but at least follow this principle of offering the food to Krishna before you eat. And prasad means not just small quantity, one laddu, one. Prasad means anything what you eat should be prasad. Just offer it to Krishna. That's it. You want to eat it, just make a small plate, put it in that enough quantity for one person to eat, keep it right in front of Krishna, request him with the folded hands, please Krishna, eat it, make it sanctified, and wait for some time, and then you see the wonders. So this should definitely be done. I'm remembering that incident when Prabhupada was preaching in the Western world. A father from a church came to Prabhupada, and he wanted to know, how do you make prasadam? I want to see everything. So he was there. He saw the whole process. Prabhupada said, yes, please come. So he saw in the kitchen how they're making everything and write everything. And then he tasted it. It was so tasty. He was like, wow, I want to. So next day he went to his place and he started doing the same thing. He did everything same, but the taste was not there. So he came back to Prabhupada. He said, I did everything same, exactly the same, how you did it last day. So how is it that I didn't get taste? Prabhupada said, did you offer it to Krishna? And he said, no. He said, where the taste will come from. So we should offer it uh, so we should become prasaditarian. So my request, please um, make it a practice. Whatever you're eating. Of course, whatever when I say doesn't mean your chicken biryani and mutton pulao can be offered to Krishna. I'm not saying that. So don't misunderstand me. This happens. I was giving a class one time many years ago in a college, and after I spoke the same thing, and then a student walked in to me and he said, Prabhuji, can I offer my chicken to Krishna? And he was very serious. Not that he was joking, because he heard that whatever you eat, you should offer. And he said, can I offer my chicken? And I was like, uh, confused whether he's joking, but he looked very serious. So I said, okay. Then I told him that in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 26 shloka, Krishna has mentioned what can be offered to him. Patram pushpam phalam toyam. Leaf, flower, fruit, and water. So this time Krishna has spoken this only. Maybe next time when Krishna speaks Bhagavad Gita, I will request him to include, instead of Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam, he can say Meetam, Andam, Matanam, whatever. And then we can offer. But this time we cannot offer. So uh, please offer the food. So that's why he's saying Annat Bhavanti. Here, very clearly, he's saying Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. That means it just doesn't mean that on a bodily level, your body is taken care by uh, the food. You depend on the food. No, your consciousness, your thoughts, your desire, everything depends on food. So be very careful and eat only Krishna Prasad. Don't eat without offering. So that's Annat Bhavanti Bhutani. Victory over tongue is victory over life. So we should try to feed the soul, body will follow. Don't worry about the body. The body will follow. So how to what kind of prasad we should eat? um, you should see to it that when you're getting some grains or you're getting some um, groceries, etc. How are they grown? Grow food ethically or source responsibly, at least. So we should see to it, like, even in general, the cow milk. Why people gave up cow milk? Because they saw the cow, the cruelty the farms and the people were doing on cows just to take extra milk, giving them injections, giving so many things. So we should see to it that, of course, if you can grow your own food, very nice. But I know in your houses or in your apartments, it's not possible. The best, okay, I'll tell you the best food, then I'll tell you what you can do. The best food is the grains grown by a devotee of the Lord, uh, and purchased by a devotee of the Lord, cooked by a devotee of the Lord, offered to the Krishna by devotee of the Lord, and of course, eaten by devotee of the Lord. So that's the best one. But if it is not possible, because we cannot find who has grown, at least see to it that we purchase from nice place, not those who are committing cruelty, not those who are sinful. They are just there to earn money and they have come into business, and then we are just thinking that very nice. So we should try to resource responsibly. If not possible, then at least cook with devotion. If you cannot take care of the first part, at least take care of the second part. Cook with devotion, offer it to Krishna. So, how to cook with devotion? While cooking, just think that I'm making this for Krishna. It'll be so nice when Krishna will eat this. I'm making for the Supreme Lord, and He's going to eat it. That that's called cooking with devotion. And offer it to Krishna, and then honor it as prasadam and distribute also to other. So that's why I was saying, feed the soul, body will follow. And the problem of the world is not lack of food, but lack of offered food. That is the problem. Uh, Here, Krishna is not teaching us agriculture by saying ki, okay, annad bhavanti bhutani, parjanyat anna sambhavaha. It seems like Krishna is teaching us how to do agriculture. Okay, rain will be there, then this will come up, grains will come up, etc. So why will Krishna teach agriculture in Bhagavad Gita? Krishna is not merely teaching agriculture, he's teaching gratitude, he's teaching responsibility and devotion by saying that be very careful what you eat. So that's Annad Bhavanti Bhutani. Next he says Parjanyat Anna Sambhavaha. Where is the food coming from? Food comes from rains. And Parjanyat. So that is coming. So by saying this, Krishna is informing us that nature is not under your control. Nature is under my control. Because unless there is rain, you will not get grains. But rain, you cannot control. Although rain causes crop growth, soil fertility, groundwater, vegetation, etc. But without rain, land becomes barren. Famine follows. So Krishna is giving us a simple truth which can be understood by everyone. No rain, no grain, no grain, no life. Simple. So Krishna is speaking about rain. Now we just discuss about food, that how it can help us spiritually. Now how rain can help us spiritually. So a devotee of Krishna, he understands rain means Krishna's mercy. Field where the rain is coming, it's heart, and crop is devotion. So if you receive the rain and then your field becomes fertile, and then it will give the crop. So if you receive Krishna's mercy, your heart becomes ready for Krishna, and then the crop of devotion comes up. So rain is Krishna's mercy and food is Krishna's gift. As devotee, we understand this, that without mercy, nothing can happen. So devotee understand that rain is Krishna's mercy, food is Krishna's gift, Eating is service and gratitude is worship. That's what we are supposed to do. Eating and worshipping Krishna. So when we speak on rain, what does rain mean? When you see now uh, rain coming next time, so you should think in this way, that what does actually rain mean? We are talking of rain. uh, what is Krishna speaking, or how we can understand rain? This is very important for us to understand. That let's see how we can uh, understand this word called rain. Can you see something on your screen? I think yes, you're seeing the same shloka, isn't it? Which we recited. That's the shloka on your screen. Okay. So let's see. We're talking about rain. What does rain? Next time you see rain, you remember this. R stands for, now we are just going on with the definition of rain. So R stands for reliance on God. अन्नाद bhavanti bhutani parjanyat anna sambhavaha. So, rain is reliance on God, R. And then we have A is acceptance of grace. When the rain is coming, you need to be ready to accept that grace of Krishna. I, when you accept that grace, what happens is the inner purification. And then N is nourishment for all. When you are nourished, when you are purified, then you can purify others also. So next time when you see rain, always remember, it is reminding us that we should be reliant on Krishna, complete reliance on Krishna, acceptance of grace, inner purification, and nourishment for all. So it is important for us to understand that we should prepare ourselves to receive the grace of Krishna. Otherwise, grace is there, mercy is there, but we will not be able to receive it. So when we speak about Parjanya, rain, that means rain comes to prepare the ground so that the crop can come. So prepare our heart for Krishna so that the grace of Krishna is accepted. And how do we prepare that heart? It is said, Yagyat Bhavati Parjanyo, the next line. So we heard about food, first line, Annat Bhavanti Bhutani, where it was said that unless you know that there is sinful reactions in that, and we should not accept that. Because we ourselves have lot of reaction already. Why do we need someone else's reaction by eating such food? Mhm. So then, uh, the food we discussed, then what is required to remove that reaction is the grace, that is the rain. So food, rain. Now we are okay. I said we should be ready to receive the grace. How to make ourselves ready for the grace is told in Yagyat Bhavati Parjanyo. So I hope you're understanding this whole explanation. As I said, divine cycle Krishna is giving, that food carries sinful reaction. So to remove that, you need grace. The grace is available in the form of rain, but you have to prepare yourself. So how to prepare? Third, yagyad bhavati parjanyo. So rain comes from sacrifice, yagya. So yagya, when yagya, we say that yagya, what is the meaning of yagya? What is the meaning of sacrifice? Sacrifice just doesn't mean, have some fire and chant some mantras and put some oblations. That's not yagya. That's not the only way of doing yagya. As soon as we hear the word sacrifice or yagya, this is what comes to our mind, isn't it? And we are very happy if we have some occasion and we get the opportunity to perform some yagya. We said, yes, yes, we have done our duty. What happened? You called a Pandit or a Pujari, someone, he comes with his own small things, that yagya kund, etc. And then you tell him, okay, buy whatever you want, and then he buys certain things. He comes, he's performing the yagya. You don't even know what is he speaking. You're not even interested. You're just interested that after half an hour, yagya should be over so that I can go for my party and whatever. And then the person is speaking some mantras, neither you understand, and we are not sure whether he understands also or no. But the yagya goes on, and swaha, the only word we understand is swaha. Mhm. As soon as we hear, okay, put it in the fire, swaha, 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 that's all we understand. And we think after the yagya, very nice, I have done my duty. What have you done your duty? Did you understand what was the yagya for? No, that I need not understand. But I did swaha, so now it is everything is fine. No, we have to understand. Now we have to receive the grace, and grace is received through yagya, through sacrifice. Because yagya, it is it is not that yagya is uh, just to put something in the fire. Yagya creates gratitude. Yagya creates humility. Yagya creates dharma. Mm, That is called yagya. And these qualities, they restore balance. And then that is called that, rain is there or mercy is there. So it is said that when man honors God, nature honors man. Please remember this, that if we honor God, nature will honor us. So, as I said, yagya means it should create gratitude, it should create humility, it should create dharma. And that's why in this age where we are, the kind of yagya which we perform, as I mentioned, somebody comes and does something, it doesn't create gratitude towards God. It doesn't bring humility to you. And it is not recommended for this time. In Kali Yuga, there is a Upanishad called Kali Santaran Upanishad. This Upanishad speaks about what happens in Kali Yuga. So there is a conversation between Narad Muni and Brahmaji. And Narad Muni questions Brahma that this is Kali Yuga going on. People are not very strong to perform any austerity. And on top of that, they are always engaged in doing all sorts of nonsense activities. How can they be saved? I'm concerned about them. So Brahma says, yes, they can be saved. There is a way. What is the way? Then he speaks that if in this Kali Yuga they chant this mantra, and in that Kali Santaran Upanishad, this whole mantra is given. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Sometimes people think that because we are Hare Krishnas, that is why we chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. No, we are not chanting because we are Hare Krishna. We are chanting because it is given in the Upanishad, in the Kali Santaran Upanishad by Brahma himself. Lord Brahma gave this mantra that if they chant in this Kali Yuga, definitely they will be liberated, or they will be, at least they can stay peaceful. So chanting Hare Krishna is the recommended yagya for this Kali Yuga. Fire rituals are secondary, but first we should chant. Chanting changes our heart, and when a heart is changed, world will also change. But first change your consciousness, first change your heart. So that is why yagya is very, very important. So Krishna is speaking about this, that and how the yagya is done, that if you perform your duty. What is your duty? Your duties are two. One, towards yourself, other is towards God. Both the duties are there. Yourself means wherever you are, in whichever position you are, then you have to perform certain activities, you have to take some responsibilities. But the second important duty is to take responsibility of coming closer to Krishna. So when you do your duty, then you perform a yagya. That means if you want to come closer to Krishna, you have to chant the holy name. And then rain will be there. That means mercy will be there because you have prepared yourself to accept the mercy. And then we will be able to uh, live nicely. So now this whole thing, why did I call it a cycle? Because Krishna says if you do your duty, then yagya will be performed. With yagya, rain will come. With rain, food will come. And with food, life will come. And what will you do with your life? Again, the duty. So that means we should not break the cycle. We should have our duty towards God and, of course, as I mentioned, towards family, towards society. But the most important duty we should not forget. Many times people think or they say, they come to me and they say that for us, the most important duty is towards my parents, which is very nice. I said, yes, that's good. But then why do you forget that these parents which you have got are only for this lifetime? Krishna, as father, has been there life after life. He'll be there and he's been there for millions of lifetime. So if you feel that your most important duty is to serve your parents, yes, very nice. Then why are you forgetting your eternal father? Why are you forgetting Krishna? So we have to perform our duty. Now, this verse teaches us certain important instructions or lessons. Let's try to understand some of them. The first lesson which this teaches is that life is interdependent, not independent. No one survives alone, not possible. So then, when you understand that life is interdependent, I mean, I'm also dependent on someone else dependent on me, or this, that, everything. And you see, it is practical, isn't it? You just imagine, can you stay alone without depending on anyone? You say, yes, I can. Just fill up my fridge and, a nice bed, AC is on, and of course, mobile and internet is there. I don't need anyone else, isn't it? But my question is to get the mobile, to get the internet, to get the food, to get your AC, to get the electricity. You're dependent on others. Mhm. So you cannot, whatever you think of, you say, okay, I'll go to Himalayas and stay there. Mhm. I don't need anything. I don't need AC. I don't need fridge. What about doing that? But then in Himalayas also, you're dependent on Himalayas. You're dependent on nature. So life is interdependent, not independent. That is a very important lesson which we learn. So if we know that we are dependent on others, what should be what we understand? We should respect everyone. Respect farmers, respect parents, respect workers, respect nature. We should respect because we are dependent. We cannot live independently. And then by understanding this, we should practice gratitude daily. See, gratitude is a virtue. It is very important. Other all good qualities cannot exist without gratitude. Even spirituality. You cannot grow. Spirituality grows like seed within our heart. The goodness of our lifestyle protects that seed. Like suppose you want to be a spiritual person, you want to be a very good person so that I can live peacefully. I'm fed up of this world where people are just cheaters, people are just exploitative, they just have that tendency to exploit. I'm fed up of this world, so I just want a spiritual life. But even in spiritual life, if you get the seed of devotion in your heart and with your goodness of your lifestyle, you're protecting it. And by chanting the holy name, reading the scriptures, you're watering it, you can say. But it is the gratitude that will make the ground fertile. So that's why, although we definitely look forward to a lifestyle where we can have people around us who are not there to just exploit. who are not there because they just need something from me. They are not there because um, they want to show that they are some great people and you have no value in your life. No, they are there so that they can encourage us. They are there because they just want to be there. They just want to help you. They just want to support you. They want you to progress in life, real progress. And that kind of people, if we develop gratitude towards them, then definitely Krishna will see to it that you progress very fast. So we need to understand that we have a lot to be thankful in our life. Try listing, and you will see that you have a long list of all the things you are grateful for, which you never thought, which you never looked at. So develop that gratitude because life is interdependent, it is not independent. Independence is illusion. We can never be independent. Second lesson which we are learning is consumption without contribution is theft. One who eats without offering is a thief, as per Bhagavad Gita. Uh, so consumption without contribution is theft. So when we are consuming, when we are taking food or anything, we should also see to it what are we contributing to the society. It is said that if a human being, if a person only takes from the society and he does not give back to the society, he is considered to be an animal. If a person takes from the society, whatever he takes, same amount he gives back to the society, he is considered human. And if a person who takes from the society and whatever he has taken, million times more he gives back to the society, he is called a sadhu. So at least we become humans. Hmm. So consumption without contribution. So we don't eat just like that. So what we do, we offer food to Krishna. We contribute our time, energy, service in the service of Krishna. So like it's a simple thing to say, Krishna, I would like to take food. I'm very hungry, but I'll take only after you have taken. That's all. That's it. So that should be our goal, that take only after you thank Krishna that okay, you gave me these things. So these are the important lessons which we learn. At the same time, we should also know that work, whatever we are doing, as is yajna is mentioned here. So duty becomes yajna when offered to Krishna. Work becomes worship when Krishna is involved. Otherwise, people keep saying work is worship. Every work cannot be worship. Somebody who's killing other people, that is his job. He's a murderer. He's a paid shooter. And if he's doing his job, that doesn't become worship. Work becomes worship when you involve Krishna. So, work is meant for worship. Offer results to Krishna. You can do it mentally. Work honestly, without greed. So that's how we can uh, actually do our duty properly. And of course, as I said, in this Kali Yuga, chant the holy name and remember that there are incidents, there are so many places it is mentioned that how when a person thinks that I don't have to offer anything back to Krishna, I am the master, like Indra thought that, I don't need Krishna in my life. Everything is meant for me. The yagya was being done for him, and then Krishna stopped, and he was so angry at Krishna. How dare he? I will kill everyone in Vraja. He demanded worship. Mhm. And Krishna says, no, don't do it for him, do it for Govardhan. And then he was very angry. His ego was really hurt. How can it happen? And then he tried to destroy the entire Vrindavan, and Krishna just lifted Govardhan. So we should understand, we get a very important lesson from there, that when ego replaces devotion, Krishna lifts the mountain to protect. Because there was ego on one side of Indra, and there was devotion of Brajavasis. Krishna lifted the mountain. So we need to be very, very careful with our life. Please understand that this shloka is teaching us that we are not controllers, but we are caretakers. So we should daily practice offering of the food, chanting of the holy name, working honestly, consuming consciously, live for Krishna. And when we live for Krishna, nature will live for us. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. I'm very happy that I will be seeing some of you soon. I heard that some of you are planning to come to India. So please let me know. I'll be very happy to serve all of you in whatever way we can. Thank you very much. Any questions? We have 3 to 4 minutes left. Any questions or comments? You may raise your hand electronically, digitally, whatever they call it, so that we can unmute you. Okay, no question. I can understand. It's early morning for all of you, and early morning to ask question. You haven't come out of your bed yet, and then how can you ask the questions? But anyway, if you have any questions later, please put it in the group. I'll be very happy to answer any questions you have. And thank you very much. And at the same time, also grateful to you that all of you are joining the chanting session. Uh, most of you are joining the chanting session every day. And that's why my gratitude to Raghavi Mataji also, who's continuously taking the trouble of every day organizing the class, guiding all of you. Thanks to her also. And thanks to all of you for joining. Hare Krishna.